Week 4 NFL is here. Let's get after it. Hey, good morning, everyone. It's Craig Bennett, aka Cash Cake, back with another NFL Prize Picks video. Got a few plays for you here we will talk about, but we got some big news. Recording this very early on Sunday morning, but it looks like Jimmy G is going to be out for Vegas, and Aiden O'Connell is going to start for him. So if you're playing DFS out there, he is dirt cheap. Min price, 4K over there on DraftKings, 6K on FanDuel. Should be interesting. I've updated my cheat sheets for DFS. We'll talk about a little lineup construction with that with inside our Discord. But hey, we're going to talk Prize Picks. Got a couple plays for you here. If you don't have that Prize Picks account, you want to join us, use that promo code CashK and get 100% instant deposit match up to $100. Link is in the description below. Let's just talk some ball. All right, Prize Picks desktop is up here. Again, we're going to talk a few plays that we do like on this slate. If you want to check out, we got a London game here. I did a video specifically for the London game. If you want to check out some of those plays, I will link the video at the end of this video if you want to listen to that one. But this is going to be for the main slate. And we're going to talk a few plays that we do like. First play we're going to dive into and talk about here. So we're going to go to Adam Thielen here. And we do have Bryce Young back. The old Red Rocket Andy Dalton is not going to be QB this week, which I wish he was in this matchup. You know, we got Adam Thielen going back, revenge game, played 9 years in Minnesota. Now he's with Carolina. And he's getting, if we take the first game out of the equation and look at the last two games, targets, man. I mean, just getting peppered. 9 targets, game 2. In Seattle when the Red Rocket was at it, had 14 targets there. But again, the second game, you know, we had some Bryce Young here. Still got pepper quite a bit. I think they're going to continue to use him. Again, playing Minnesota here, they should be in a trailing game script. Both teams are 0-3, but Minnesota has a 25.5 implied team total. Carolina's 21. So I think they should be playing from behind here, should be throwing the ball quite a bit. And it looks like they're trying to get Adam Thielen the ball quite a bit here. He's running a lot of stuff underneath. And this target just feels a little too low, just looking at the last two games. And I think going forward, I think, again, he's going to continue to get involved here. And again, anytime I get him in a game script where they should be trailing here, and again, playing his old team, I think they'll look to continue to get him the ball. So 6.5 feels a little low. I think this should be closer to 7.5 or 8. So I think there's a little value on this target. So that's the first one that we do like on this Sunday slate. Next one we're going to look at, we're going to go to one. I've talked to him quite a bit in this early season, but I'm just going to keep going to him. Tank Dell. Going up against Pittsburgh. Again, this should be a trailing game script. Now, we talked about CJ Stroud and Tank Dell when they played Jacksonville last week, and CJ Stroud almost got there. We'll talk about him too. I think he's in play as well. We'll throw him up there, and I think they correlate really well. But Tank Dell, 3.5 receptions. If we look at the last 2 weeks, 7 targets, caught 5 balls for 145 against Jacksonville on that win. Again, I thought it'd be more of a trailing game script, but look at Tank Dell here. Drafted him round 3, 7th overall selection. And the big thing for me is he played 100% of the snaps. Week 1 played 86%. Week 2 played 95%, had 10 targets, caught 7 balls for 72. Going to be a big part of the offense. I think, Nico Collins is going to get going today. I do believe that since Tank Dell kind of went off here, but it still feels too low at the 3.5 receptions, especially if we feel like they're going to be trailing here going up against Pittsburgh. The 3-point dogs here. I don't think they're going to shock the world back to back here. So I don't mind taking, again, Tank Dell here at 3.5. It just feels a little low for the volume he should be getting. And this team does like to throw. So if we kind of want to move into that and, like I said, correlate it a little bit, if we want to go to CJ, I have no problem, pairing these guys up. I still think this is too low. CJ Stroud, 32.5. Yes, he didn't get there against Jacksonville, but they were stomping them all game long. The crazy part when we look at this, he only played 56 snaps this game because they just were dominating them. I think there was a either a return. I don't remember exactly. I think it was either a return or a pick six for the Texans, and it just kind of limited him out in the field. So if we look at the first two games, he had 77 to 84 snap counts. He only had 56 this game, and a winning game script, and he still almost got there. If we feel like he's going to be trailing a little bit against Pittsburgh, you got to have to like looking at his pass attempts. So I don't mind pairing them together. They kind of correlate really well together. And again, if we feel like they're going to be losing, you remember that first game that he cleared this was against Baltimore, right? And he threw it 44 times, 28 for 44 here against Indy, again, 30 for 47. So again, if it's a trailing game script, I do like this 32.5. It's just way too low. Last week we should have hit it if the game script went right. If you think that they're going to come out and put it on Pittsburgh at any stretch, then I wouldn't play this. You got to build your game scripts of mine. So I like pairing those up, like Thielen here. And the last one we're going to talk about here that I do like, going over the Colts. The Colts get their stud back. They get the rookie back, Anthony Richardson. And I think there's a couple ways you can go here. Back from a concussion from week 2. And the crazy part, if we just pull up his fantasy score, right? Week 2, played against Houston, that's pass completions. We would pull up his fantasy score, 19. Week 2, had almost 19, and he only played 18 snaps before he was concussed in the end zone when he got that touchdown. And of course, week 1, he got there with almost 22 fantasy points, 47 passes, 6 rushes. Again, got concussed this Houston game and only 18 snaps, and he almost got there. So massive upside with his rushing ability as well. And, going up against the Rams here, you have to I really like him all around, going up against the Rams. So I don't mind if you want to take fantasy score. I think I feel maybe a little bit more comfortable with the touchdowns. Again, he got 2 touchdowns in Houston and very few snaps. And then he got 2 in Jacksonville. I think what Richardson back does in this team, it really hurts Zach Moss's upside, because I think Richardson's going to vulture some of those touchdowns around the end zone, and he's definitely going to run the ball. So we get a guy like this going to run the ball, so he has a chance to get a rush touchdown as well as passing. So I don't mind if you want to take the 1.5 pass rush and receiving touchdowns or fantasy score. Richardson is one of my favorite quarterbacks on the slate in DFS, and putting in some slips here over on PrizePick. So this is what I'm looking at. Again, pretty comfortable with both of these. Depending on where you want to go with this. We'll throw a fantasy score up here, but again, I'll probably be mixing and matching quite a bit of these. But yeah, that's what we're looking at. There's 4 plays for you here. Again, if you want access to more picks that we do have with myself and all the team over at dailyedgesports.com, you can get access to all of our picks. Link is in the description below. Going to have a lot of stuff up this morning. Be in there all day chatting. Hopefully put up some big plays today on DFS. Both on DraftKings and FanDuel and on PrizePick. So with that, appreciate you guys. Enjoy your Sunday. Hey, we got that London game. I'll throw it up here above me. Let's get after it. Deuces.